may the words from my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing in your sight, my Lord, my rock, and my Redeemer. Amen. These words, which are often used to begin a sermon, stood out to me today. In Matthew 15, Jesus tells the disciples that what defiles a person isn't what they consume or the cleanliness of their hands. Instead, he tells them people are defiled by what comes out of their mouths, because it is what comes out of the mouth that proceeds from the heart. And he continues on to list the many evil intentions people can express. I am sure we have all had those moments when we think, wow, I really wish I could take that back. But we know it's too late. I know I certainly have. In these days of the pandemic, we are faced with another danger that comes out of our mouths, a virus that we can spread unknowingly. Scientists have learned, just as Joseph learned, that there are actions we can take that can save other people's lives. In the case of Joseph, he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams and prepared Egypt for an extended famine, thereby preserving life and saving the Egyptians who trusted him to make the right decisions. In today's reading, he preserves his own family and thereby the nation of Israel. Today, we are no longer guided by dreams, but science. The actions we need to take are much less grand than the ones Joseph took, but they too preserve life. If we wash our hands frequently, avoid large crowds and distance, and above all, wear a mask in public, we can change the effect this pandemic has had on our community. I'm not going to lie. Wearing a mask is not my favorite thing. Sure, I've made it more fun. I buy all sorts of fun masks, and today I even got one that matched my robes. But fashion or fun, it is still a mask. And like for most people, it feels really new and strange. But is it really? Granted, most of us didn't wear masks every day. But think about it. When we visited a critically ill friend or family member in the hospital, didn't we often wash our hands? Stay back a bit? And if we knew we were going to be near, wear a mask, just in case we had something? We did it because we wanted to protect and care for someone we love. So being asked to wear a mask in this pandemic isn't new, it's just expanded. Now we need to care for everyone around us, not just a loved one we are coming to visit. In the second half of the gospel reading today, Jesus was asked to expand his ministry. He has just fed 5,000, and before that performed a number of miracles, including the casting out of an evil spirit from a man in Capernaum. So when a Canaanite woman calls out to him saying, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon," we all assume he will stop and help her. Instead, he ignores her because he was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Casting out demons was something he had done, but only in certain situations and for certain people. But the Canaanite woman, like any parent, is desperate to save her daughter. She says, "Lord, help me." Even when he compares her to a dog, she answers that even a dog eats crumbs from the master's table. Many have interpreted her words and actions to show Jesus and the disciples that Jesus' actions and the faith in him as the Messiah have reached beyond the Jews to all people. She calls on Jesus as Lord to be for all people who believe. He recognizes her faith and heals her daughter. His disciples and we now know that Jesus has come for all of us. While this is certainly great news, it also comes with a charge to us that we must also care for all people. We could be overwhelmed by the responsibility to care for all people, or we could take a step back and break it into small tasks. Jesus didn't perform 30 miracles at one time, or if he did, that is not how they are recorded. We are told he performed them one by one, the way any challenging act is accomplished. The current pandemic offers us an opportunity to separate into tasks ways to care for others. This week, leaders in Kansas City called out to us because not all of us have listened or recognized our call to care for all of God's people. They continued the previous order governing building occupancy and where we must wear masks. Saturday, Dr. Deborah Birx, the administration's coronavirus response coordinator, was in Kansas City, Kansas, and emphasized the importance of wearing a mask, gathering only in small groups, and distancing by at least 6 feet. She emphasized that COVID can be spread asymptomatically. What Dr. Birx outlined are simple steps that we can take to care for others. If you have been doing this, great. Keep it up. I know it takes work. I so wanted to hug Julie when she opened the cross hall door for me today, but we didn't. I want to get to a place, and I think Julie and everyone here wants to get to a place where we can be safe with all the people we love and care for. But it takes all of us. For those of you who haven't been taking these actions, I ask you to ponder in your heart why, and if you can start to take steps. Maybe get a more comfortable mask. Put hand sanitizer in your car. Take those 2 steps back in a line. Remember that every time you do these little things, you could be showing someone God's love in the world. I know it's not saving Egypt, but it will save Kansas City. Amen.